Hey, let's go. With the All-Star game completed and in the books, we welcome you back to our show tonight as Mike and I get you ready for the second half of the season, both for the major leagues and fantasy baseball. But before we get to that, as we always do, we begin by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here? Boom! Right now, coming to you, you are looking live at our split studios. At least one of us is in temperatures similar to planet Mercury here in upstate New York, mid-90s the last couple of days, lots of pool time. This is Fantasy Baseball Now, episode 46. We'll call it the Andy Pettitte edition. We'll see if I can't misremember some things, like some of my predictions for the first half. As part of our show, part of the Ball9.com podcast network.
In addition to our reset of our stupidity in the first half, we will do who's hot, who's not, who to go get, who to cut. We will skip a look ahead with the short week as pitching staffs are all over the place, and it's kind of hard to predict two-start pitchers right now, and we don't even know one-start pitchers for Friday yet. But follow us, smash the like button. Again, the Ball 9 Podcast Network, YouTube channel, whatever you got to do, just whatever you got to do, just hit the like button, because I just got a tuition bill today for grad school. And let me just tell you something. I wasn't sweating, and then I opened that thing up, and there were pools underneath my eyeballs reading that thing. I don't know if they were tears of happiness or if they were
the joys of having brilliant, successful children.
Yeah. Fuckers. I wish they were more like me and underachievers, and then I wouldn't have to deal with this crap.
Hey, we did okay.
Yeah,
we did okay. There's nothing wrong. I say it before, I tell my kids all the time, just do the best you can. There's absolutely nothing wrong with 6 years of undergraduate work in college.
No, it took me 38 years to get accepted to grad school. So what do we, whatever. Let's start with the All-Star game real quick.
Yeah, real quick. What were your thoughts on the
derby? Because we could talk about that forever, but and I am not going to spend. Actually, I'm going to.
Yeah, I want to talk about.
Can't be done with baseball fucking fast enough. When I'm watching the StatCast feed, which is everything I don't want to hear, so I can actually see O'Neal Cruz launching balls into the night sky in Atlanta instead of a split box where they're showing where the ball lands because you can't follow where they hit it, and Carl Ravitch doesn't have a fucking clue what he's talking about. That's when you know they're done. They're done. They're done. I'm done with ESPN baseball. Thankfully, that's the last home run derby they're going to do, even though apparently they're in negotiation. They've restarted talks with MLB.
No, move on. You know why they have to move on? I actually was kind of interested in the home run derby, and I turned it on, and I see this D-bag on my TV. My God. Who decided it was a good idea to put Pat fucking McAfee on TV for the home run derby? He's pure garbage. He's trash. That was awful. I turned it off until I saw this thing was coming on.
This is part of the complaint. And for those of us that grew up with ESPN from the inception, right, when it was like, oh my God, there's a show we can turn on in the morning and we can get every highlight. There's a show we can watch at 11 o'clock at night and get literally live in-game looks with great announcers. And it was groundbreaking for us. For what they are now, they're a shtick.
It's a joke.
And McAfee's part of the shtick. They can't, Stephen A. Smith, I'm done with him. McAfee, no. I'm done with him. There's no point. Why turn the home run derby into a WWE event?
It's
so as much as that sucked. Then we go to the All-Star game.
Thank you, big man.
And the Hank Aaron tribute was phenomenal. It was fantastic. The teams wearing their own uniforms. Thank God.
Yep.
Even Aaron Boone commented on that during one of the 700 in-game interviews, which enough's enough. But for the All-Star game, who cares? The game had some drama. I kind of liked the swing off at the end. I kind of liked it. I kind of like I don't like the tie's the tie. Like I get it. Like I understand it. I kind of like the swing off. What I didn't like about it is they're limited to guys that were like playing in the lineup at the time.
Okay,
And
I didn't realize that because I was like,
how
where's
cool would it
Judge?
have been for Judge, Raleigh, Otani, and then Schwarber and Alonso, and then take your pick on the American League side.
Yeah.
I probably would have went with a Rosarena because he's scorching hot. Plus, he loves those moments. Like, how cool would it have been to see? Like, I get why. One of the things Boone said in his interview is I got to be careful about like how we use guys, and I get why Byron Buxton was in and was not in, and Jonathan Aranda was because he was in the home run derby, and like you don't want to get guys hurt. Taking shit seriously.
Here's the thing with that.
It's made of Alaska.
All right. You don't have a tie. It's not Bud Selig like panicking in Seattle. And you're not playing for home. You're not playing for home field in World Series. I agree with coming up in a way. You don't, even if you stash one or two pitchers, what if the game goes 16? Okay. They came up with the idea. Well, so why would you put in a stupid rule that it has to be the game's over? The game's over. It's a tie. You're just going for honors now. Why restrict it to guys who are still in the game?
But for Schwarber to win the MVP, and I'm a big Schwarber guy, but for Schwarber to win the MVP based on hitting 3 home runs and a swing off to decide the winner, just tells you where the All-Star game actually is. Right? Skeens in the first, awesome.
Yeah.
Kershaw being mic'd up was fucking hysterical.
That was funny. He's got
and he almost dropped the son of a bitch on Smoltz, which was great.
Yeah.
But it's a full it's a full-fledged exhibition. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'd rather kind of like the NBA does the futures game where it's first and second year players. I'd rather that be the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And feature your young talent and trot your All-Stars out for a tip of the cap. And those guys will play. Like they're going to play hard, and you're going to feature your young players. They got to do I don't know what to do about the All-Star game. The players don't need the money like they did. We romanticize about what baseball was like when we were kids. Like $100,000 for winning the All-Star game was a big ass deal, or $25,000 was a big deal for guys that were making $25,000.
It's also not the same. The thing that changed the All-Star game was interleague play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because growing up, and we're fucking old men, okay, right? Growing up in the 70s, I hated the National League, and I didn't get to see those guys that much. I saw them a little bit when the Giants had their 6 games on each year on whatever KROA TV in San Francisco, but I watched all the A's games that I could. So you didn't get to see much unless it was Joe and Tony on NBC's Game of the Week Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
But you get them in the All-Star game, and you never get to see them play. So when you would see Tom Seaver against Reggie Jackson, that was awesome.
Unless they were in the World Series the year before, you weren't seeing it, right?
So it's a little watered down there too, but it still has a spectacle. Thank God they brought back the uniforms because that was unbearable the last few years.
Yeah, that's a great look, and the players wanted it.
Yep.
I mean, the home run derby uniforms were like I don't know who Major League Baseball is using for, between them and New Era with some of the caps. What were they using for creative, for merchandise? Like those people need to be fired. Like it's just like the City Connect uniforms are a joke. Like you're just you're just grasping for shit that just to try to sell stuff. Just say it. Just say you want to sell weird merchandise and just move on. But like it was a good. It had a little drama. Good to see some guys play. Nobody got hurt. Now we move on.
Now we move on
to the important stuff. Because
happy for Brent Rooker, by the way, for getting hosed on the home run derby to go hit a 3-run bomb last night.
Well, that's why I stopped, because I don't want to get into how they can amazingly be 91% correct for balls and strikes with umpires, but they can measure homers to 8 decimal points. Like, stop. Just stop. Have them swing off, and if Raleigh doesn't, He won. That's great. Good
Yep.
story with his dad and his brother. Really good story. That's what it's all about. And I'll most likely be at the Home Run Derby next year when it's in Philly because I want to go. And it'll be a liver transplant bliss weekend for sure, but it'll be crazy. It'll be crazy, and I want to go to it. It'll be a blast here, and the balls will fly all over the friggin' place.
Yeah,
because it's a great hitters park. Atlanta did a really nice job after pausing before I'll be nice after having to pause to
have the game stolen from them years ago.
Yeah, they got woke out of it, but they did a really nice job. They did a really nice job, and the players that were there are still excited to be there, and the camaraderie, and they enjoy it. And I'm getting a little pissed off about the Jose Ramirez. He's battling a little toe injury. He wants to rest up for the second half. Like, you can't go taking it bat. You can't go taking at bat. Like, I get it if you pitch on Sunday and you're not going to pitch. And Wheeler pitched on Saturday, and I get that. But still go. Like, still go to the game.
Get introduced. Jacob deGrom took a bow. Good for him.
And how about speaking of the Rangers? How about a huge shout out to the Rangers organization for giving Nathan Eovaldi his $100,000 All-Star bonus. That's a class move. That's a class move. That's how you keep players. That's how you attract players. That's doing the right thing. That's doing the right thing. That's not the Pirates cutting Rowdy Tellez the day before he gets his his games played bonus. That's the complete opposite of that. That's doing the right thing by your players. That's a good move. That's a really good move. We'll talk about the Rangers a little bit in a minute. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about the Rangers right now.
Go for it. Now, what we're going to do is we're each going to give 3 thoughts, MLB second half, and then the same with fantasy.
And then fantasy second half. So we're going to go starting with the top. You go first, I'll go second. We'll go. You start with your incorrect prediction.
Got it.
And then I'll go to mine.
So, theme of the night. I'm going to be Mr. Positive tonight, probably until one last point. But that's how I roll. No disrespect to Aaron Judge. He's having an incredible year. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. How do you not love this story? Right? He's got 38 homers, 82 RBIs at the break, hitting 259, which is great for him. Wins the Home Run Derby. It's one of those storybook years you don't want to see it end, right? I think the Mariners have a run in them, and he's going to be a big part of it. I think he's such a great story. I think he's going to win the MVP. Judge is going to have to regress a little bit, which could happen. But I like Raleigh to win the MVP and keep it going just to have a year for the ages, especially for a catcher, because it just does not happen from that position. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I like Raleigh there. And as much as I enjoy kicking the Yankees when they're down, including kicking my co-host when they're down, they're okay. They'll be fine. Toronto's playing lights out heading into the break. The break probably came at a really bad time for the Blue Jays. I think they'll have a little bit of a regression. The Yankees are still going to win the East. They'll all be happy in the Bronx until Brian Cashman's inactivity during the season bites him in the ass in October. Aaron Boone's constant ability to mismanage things bites him in the ass in October. And to piggyback on that, here come the Red Sox. 3 games out. The Yankees are 2 behind the Blue Jays. I think the Red Sox are going to keep going and not just make the playoffs. I think they're going to go to the ALCS. They're going to lose to Detroit, but I think Boston's going to be the story of the second half. And them and the Yankees might get in one of those old-fashioned division championship races come September.
Maybe Yaz will come back and pop out, follow the third base. That'd be great.
Might. Or Crochet will strike out 13 bombers in a shutout. Who knows?
Before I comment on yours, and I'm going to. So the Diamondbacks are going to hold a fire sale, and they've already semi-announced that Gino Suarez, Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, and Josh Naylor are available, since their bullpen is like a powder keg and they faded into oblivion. They will stockpile young talent to fill in, but they're gonna. It's hard. I see some trade rumors or trade. These everybody's a fake GM for the next 2 weeks. These who says no trades and who they think the Diamondbacks could get for Gallen and for Gino. Like, you're not going to get a lot for guys that are 2-month rentals. Naylor's a 2-month rental. So these are all guys in a walk year. Makes sense if they've decided they're going to retool. I think the Astros are going to hold off the Mariners and the Rangers, not as much as I'm a 100% believer in the Astros, but I think I've seen enough from the Mariners and Rangers. And the Mariners don't make moves to help their offense ever, and they won't again, and that'll be the end. And then my last one is that Ohtani's not going to win the NL MVP. I don't know who's going to. I don't have enough. I think PCA is going to drop off in the second half. It might be Kyle Tucker. It might be Schwarber. It might be Zach Wheeler, for all we know. It might be Lindor. It might. There's a number of candidates. It might be Manny Machado. I mean, there's a number of guys, but I think Ohtani is, I don't want to say he's distracted offensively because he's still having a tremendous offensive year now that he's pitching. But when he adds, he's building up to add more pitching.
Yeah.
And that's going to, like, the stolen base is not going to happen. He's not going to run to jeopardize pitching. That's not going to happen. And the Dodgers aren't as dominant as
They're not
right now. Now Glasnow's back and Snell's on his way, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. So just a quick comment on your Cal Raleigh wins the AL MVP.
And by the way, I need to Venmo the big man from Massachusetts for his very astute comment, which might stay up there for every episode in perpetuity.
What, that you're smarter than you look? That's not a fucking, you have to be. Like, the fact you look like the way you look, and you can put complete sentences together, you're smarter than you look. But where you're not smarter than you look is, for the last time a player won the MVP and their team didn't make the playoffs was 2015. That was Bryce Harper. It's only happened.
They make the playoffs. That's
only happened. They're not going to make the playoffs because they're the Mariners. They're. It's only happened 3 times. Andre Dawson in 1987 and the compiler Cal Ripken in 1991. Yes, I said it. I said it. The compiler Cal Ripken in 1991. I said it. Then you
selfish Orioles, Cal Ripken that should have sat down and persevered his body. Preserved
they would have made it to the playoffs more if he sat down. Nope. Got to pass the iron horse. Yep,
how do you not love Cal Raleigh? Because now I can look at my family, the big dumper. I can say to them with my morning coffee, I'm going to take a Cal Raleigh. I'll be back in 15.
that if I had to hear Big Dumper one more time, I was going to throw up during the home run derby. But, like, just he's having a great year.
Yeah,
he's having a great year. But until, like, Julio heated up a little bit as we got to the All-Star break, Rosenrain has been on a tear in the last 13 with 8 homers. Until other players in the lineup are consistently hitting, he's going to get the same treatment that Judge gets, which is he's going to get walked. And if your prediction is that the Yankees are going to win the East, Judge is going to be the MVP because Judge is going to end up with a historic season. Historic. Even with a little drop-off, if he hits 340 with between 50 and 60 home runs, he's winning the MVP because that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. I agree. It hurts me to say this.
Say it.
I agree that the Red Sox are going to keep charging. I think 10-0 is an anomaly for them. I still don't think they have enough pitching. And I'm interested to see what happens in the next 2 weeks with them. Very interested to see what happens in the next 2 weeks with them. They showed their record since they traded Devers, and they showed the Giants record since they got Devers. Not good.
Hey, look,
Like, is Rafael Devers the James Harden of Major League Baseball?
A very brilliant person in our universe told me after that trade, and I've said it on this show, in 04, they got rid of Noma, who was a locker room disease. They won the World Series. Did the same with Manny in Manny World in 08. I don't know if they're going to win the World Series, but when you take a D-bag out of that locker room, especially with all those young players, it's addition by subtraction. And then he goes to San Francisco, blows off Will Clark 3 days in a row on first baseman fielding practice. You know, you just don't need guys like that in your organization.
No.
I don't care how many
especially with a young team. That's the last thing you need is a me guy when you got a young team. And I mean, Cora's a good manager.
Yeah.
He's a good man. I mean, I still don't trust our starting rotation outside of Crochet. Now, could they make a move now that they're going to be they're very highly likely going to be buyers instead of sellers? Like, could they spend Duran for a top of the rotation pitcher? Could they bring a Dylan Cease in? Like, could they bring a guy like that in? They could. That would be a huge addition for them. But I don't believe in Toronto even a little bit. I don't believe I mean, they got hot. I get it. I just, the Orioles, forget it. Like, just forget it. Like,
I don't think they have enough time. They're 9 under, 11 and a half out.
The Central, where I thought there might have been 3 teams to make the playoffs, something crazy is going to have to happen, and you know, most specifically, the Royals are going to have to go on a tear, and they're not.
They're the team that I would look to be able to do that, but
they're not built for it offensively. They're just not.
But are they going to sell off Lugo and maybe another starter?
Yeah, possibly.
That's
like
the
they may do a quick reset and be like, all right, like the young talent's here. This didn't go the way we thought it was going to go this year. Let's just get ready for it. They very well could. I don't know why the Mariners clutch this pitching staff like it's going to win everything. I mean, it would win in the playoffs if they could possibly get there. But if you can't score runs, you don't have some kind of thumper bat at first base or third base, and your highest paid player struggling offensively until the last week or so, what are you going to do? You got too many holes in their lineup. They don't score enough runs. I keep thinking the Rangers are going to make a run, and I can't see it. I mean, sometimes it's like on the fantasy side, we've talked about guys we'll never have again because we want to believe they're so much better than they are, and they never are. Brian Reynolds would come to mind right now. They are what they are. And they're 2 starters. Their bullpen's a shit show. Their best hitters are streaky. Their best hitter can't stay in the lineup because he's always hurt. Their catcher, Jonah Heim's regressed from being a top 10 catcher in fantasy to he's regressed. So I just don't see the Rangers being able to find a way to pull it together, despite the fact that the metrics say that they're way better than they are.
Yeah.
The metrics say they're a much better team than their record, but their record is their record.
Exactly.
Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, they are like whatever the metrics say are irrelevant. They just can't find a way to, and the Astros are playing better ball than probably all of us thought they were going to play.
I didn't think they'd be this good, especially because they've got nothing from Jordan Alvarez.
Zero.
Cam Smith has emerged. Good for them. I hate him.
Yeah, but Christian Walker.
Got to give them their props.
Christian Walker's creeping into the never again list for me. Yainer Diaz is certainly better than he was in the first month, but they just find a way. They just find a way to win baseball games, and that's good for them. So now on the fantasy side, I'll go first this time.
You go first.
So the numbers would say that Spencer Strider is going to bounce, is on his way back to being Spencer Strider. So I'm saying he's going to come all the way back. The next 2 weeks, the closer you have on your team might not be the closer you have on your team on August 1, especially with some of the names being thrown around. You know, like when Clase's name's being tossed around, like, you know, Bednar's most likely getting traded. But like there's guys that are closers right now that could be set up men August 1st. So on the fantasy side, I would pay particular attention to bullpen depth and pay particular attention to the rumor mill. And then my last one is that Bubba Chandler, and I don't even want to say it depends on whether Mitch Keller gets traded or not. Bubba Chandler's going to burst on in the second half, and he's going to be a must-have. A must-have.
Is there any time frame as to when he may come up?
Nope. No. You know why? Because it's the fucking Pirates. I mean, to their credit, they haven't really needed him. Pitching's not the issue in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pitching is not the issue. If they don't get bats for Keller and Bednar and IKF, if they don't get bats, then Ben Cherington should be like dragged in front of the world court.
All right.
You took one of mine, but
I lumped two of my guys together, mostly because they're on my 11th place fantasy team, and I'm just praying that I'm right. So as far as our keepers go, but Jack Caglione and Chase Burns, I think they're going to finish strong, right? They're both 22. Caglione, 129 at bats. The sample size isn't small, and that average is 140, and that, you just said it. You are what your record says you are. 140 is 140. 4 homers, 7 RBIs. Just keep swinging, because the ball seems to come off his bat just a little different. He hit some rockets. They just seem to be caught a whole bunch of times. But he's got it. He's got pop in his bat. You just don't see very often. And Chase Burns, all right, the ERA's a little ugly, 6.19, whip is high, 25 Ks in 16 innings. He's got a lot of pop on that ball that he throws. I think he is going to be the big guy in the second half for the Reds. I think they're going to make a run. So I lump those two together, mostly because they're 22. I think they're going to turn it on in the second half. Next, and this is just for all those people that aren't paying attention to the aths, the Oakland, Sacra, Vegas, sell the fucking team, John Fisher, Athletics. Nick Kurtz is a man. He's a rookie. He came up during the year. In the last 28 days, second in Major League Baseball, tied with Suarez in home runs with 10, one behind the big dumper. But 6'5", 240 pounds, and when he hits the ball, they stay hit. He is a dynasty keeper now. There's no debate. He's 17 home runs and 44 RBIs and 206 at bats. He didn't even come up. I'm not sure exactly when he came up. It was late April, maybe early May, but he has made a big impression already. He is a must-have if you can go get him on your team for the next few years. Now, I said I was going to be Mr. Positive tonight. I give you 5 really, really good things, the best I can do. Now the negative. Someone predicted before the season that Freddie Freeman was going to drop. Hello, that was me. In his last 28 awful, awful days, look, I enjoyed him getting his props last night in Atlanta. Good for Freddie. I have no problem with Freddie. I think he's overrated.
I disagree with that.
What, that he's overrated?
No, that you got a problem, that you don't have a problem with him. I agree with it.
Well, you know what I do have a problem with it, because he ruined your October last year. And I don't forget that. Your family. I don't forget that.
No, actually, Brett Boone. Aaron Boone did, but that's.
Yes, I got weeks, months of enjoyment out of it on this show, but he hurt you, and that bothers me. You hurt Mike, you hurt me. So I'm a little down on Freddie.
Mr. Cortez hurt me.
Just because of what he did to you. Look what happened to him this year. in his last 28 god awful days, ranked 556th in CBS, 1 homer, 8 RBIs, 8 runs, and a paltry 193 average. I think it gets underplayed because his reputation is so pristine, well deserved. It is what it is. And the Dodgers can survive this swoon of his, but he's done. DUN. Freddie's done. And so, yeah, that's, and it's going to continue in the second half. He hasn't done anything since like mid-May.
I'm a little split on Burns and Cangialinoni. Only in that if when Hunter Green comes back in 2 to 3 weeks, and if they don't trade Nick Martinez, they may chop his innings and cut him back. What I like about Jock is his K rate's only 21%, and his hard hit rate's high. So he's just a product of the ball's not finding places to land. But they're playing him. That's clear.
Yeah.
Like he's in the lineup. He could hit 130. Like he is in the lineup. And some of it's because they don't really have a choice, but the other part of it is that if they do move Reagans or Lugo or Bubic, if they move any or all of those guys, he needs to know that he's part of the future there.
Yeah.
As much as they need to know that he's part of the future there. So he's going to keep playing. And I think that he's at the bottom. The thing that astounds me about Kurtz is he was playing college baseball last year.
Yes, he was.
And this trend, and we saw it in the draft with a lot of college guys get taken, this trend of college, this trend of college players being major league ready quickly, and teams drafting them, especially if they can get them under slot for signing. Like they're going to rush these guys as fast as they possibly can because they want to cash in on the financial piece as much as they want them in the majors, like as soon as possible. And
yeah.
These guys play so many games now and there's so much data on them. They know pretty quickly how the transition is going to go. Like the Charlie Condon thing is an anomaly, right? Like Charlie Condon, I thought he'd be playing third base right now for the Rockies, and he's not transitioned one bit. So yeah, I don't disagree with the Freeman thing. I just don't understand why you hate him so much. Like you hate him. You don't like Freddie Freeman.
I don't know.
I don't care where that comes
from. I can't explain that. I can't explain it.
What's he ever done to you? Nice family man. Probably a first ballot Hall of Famer.
He is. He checks all the boxes. He ruined your October. That bothers me.
Nah, Nestor Cortez and Aaron Boone ruined my October. He just happened to be the guy that was in the box. Anybody they put in there right at that point in time was hitting that grand slam. It could have been Kiki Hernandez. I'd be more pissed off, frankly, if it was Kiki Hernandez. But I mean, if it was Miguel Rojas, I would have been really pissed off. But so there's a lot of stuff on the fantasy side. This next 2 weeks is some like stuff could potentially happen. There's so many teams that are still close enough to the wild card that the seller world is. We've talked about this before. The seller world is not as large as it used to be.
Yeah,
but that's why I haven't cut Alcantara on any of my teams because I think he's going to get traded, and I want to see where he lands before I mean, he sucks again.
I'm doing the same with Luis Robert.
Yeah, like where's he going to land? Where are those guys going to land? And then what's it going to do to them? What's it going to do to them? And that would be like we all have those players on our team. They could get traded. Like I've mentioned David Bednar just a minute ago. Like you're a closer on a team that's not very good, and then you get traded to the Phillies, who need a closer in the worst way. Even though Alvarez is back in 3 weeks, he's back. Not eligible for the postseason, but you're gonna need a closer in the post. He's not eligible for the postseason, but you need one in the postseason. You go from a team that's playing 420, 350 ball to a team that's playing that's a first place team. Your save opportunities go up immensely, and you get used more, and you have more fantasy value.
Yep.
Where he's got fantasy value only in the point that he gets some saves every once in a while. He's pitching really well right now. I mean, Kyle Finnegan's in the same boat. There's a number of guys that could get moved at the deadline that could be, all of a sudden thrust right into it. And there's hitters that like this is the time, right? That like now watch this year there won't be shit. There won't be anything. Except the Dodgers will get somebody that like you're like, of course they did.
Of course.
They traded their, 227 and 14 prospect, 41 prospect for, Suarez or something, like just something crazy. And you're like, Jesus Christ. Like, what are we doing
here? All right. You ready for
hot? Let's go right to who's hot. And I'll let you start with the cheater.
Ain't cheater. By the way, I love those threads the Orioles have. That's
for Christ's sakes.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, they're fantastic. If you're selling creamsicles, they're great.
All right. Ramon Laureano.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, what are you doing?
A former fan favorite in Oakland. Ramon Laureano's resurrected his career. Owned in 19% of the league, started only 14, last 21. He's playing every day in Baltimore, hitting 356, 14 runs, 13 RBIs, 2 homers, leading them back from, as Mike Tyson would say, Bolivian. They're still way out of it, but it's not his fault. He's gotten it going. He's got a good lineup. His glove may keep him out there too. So he's a good, solid pickup.
And my Seth Lugo replacement on the Royals, Noah Cameron, who in his last 4 starts, he's only 1-1, but he's a Kane inning, 2.82 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. He's up to 77% owned and only 51% started. He's not flashy, but if he's available and in your league and you need a starter because of all the injuries, he's not the worst guy you could go have. And another young guy, they're just going to keep letting him pitch. I mean, maybe on an innings limit, he might not be, but.
Hey, I was going to ask you brought up the Royals at a lefty. Do you think Bubic becomes this year's Atlee Hammaker after serving up that bomb to Alonso? Does that turn it? Atlee Hammaker was never the same after Fred Lynn took him deep in 80.
Yeah, the only difference is Atlee Hammaker had a really nice career before that happened. So the impact of the mental stress on that really was dramatic.
Yep. It's like Rich Gedman tried to catch Charlie Huff and knuckleball in 86 in the Astrodome.
Ruined his life. He did a Joe Garagiola. You know how Joe Garagiola's famous quote was the easiest way the easiest way to catch a knuckleball is wait till it stops at the backstop.
Yep, absolutely.
And then who's cold? Your guy throwing up in his mouth on a mound.
I'd throw up 2 if I had a 5.49 ERA, 1.42 WHIP in my last 21 games. For the Rays, at some point they just need to go away and fall and just fall out of the race and spare everyone a playoff game in front of 10,000 people. 88% started though, 96% owned, which is fine. Not seeing it.
No. And then for me, I think one of the guys I said couldn't keep it up was going to tail off in a second half. Apparently he already has. Heliot Ramos looking at the sky to try to figure out, like, how do I get a hit? His last 21, he's 167 with a homer, 4 RBIs, and 2 runs. He's 90. He should be. He's 93% owned. He's still 65% started. Like, you can't burn a bench spot and rest him for a little bit.
Yep.
Here's my question on Pepio, because another former Dodger prospect is coming up shortly. They trade all these can't miss prospects, all these top of the highest rated prospect pool in all of baseball. Which one has actually gone someplace in one of these trades and done anything? Like, when's the last time they traded a prospect? The Mookie Betts trade, the Red Sox were supposed to load up. None of those guys were worth a shit. Like, they've made so many trades where they've traded these quote unquote can't miss prospects, and which one of them has really ever, like, who have they traded that they're like, oh, it's not like the Padres, like the Nationals' future is based on, it was in the All-Star game. Their 2 All-Stars were Padres prospects.
Yep.
Like, it's not like that. Like,
what's Jeter Downs doing now?
Jeter Downs is working at a Piggly Wiggly in Central Ohio, stocking shelves right now and playing in a men's fast pitch beer league softball league, and then trying to latch on with an independent, trying to get on the Savannah Bananas.
Oh, don't bring that up. We got to have a segment on that one of these weeks because I hate that shit.
Yeah, we'll dissent.
I just think that is beyond stupid.
Depends on how you look at it.
I look at it like it's stupid.
You look at it like it's the Globetrotters. You look at it like it's the Harlem Globetrotters. You look at it totally different. That's why.
I like the Globetrotters. I don't know. Maybe you have just a man of different moods.
Maybe the Bananas should add chasing somebody in the stands with a bucket of water and a bucket of confetti, and you don't know which one it's going to be. So how about the go cut? I was a little surprised with this one, Sean. Got to be honest with you. A little surprised with yours.
Why? Okay, I tried to put Hayden Birdsong in for the third time in the last.
For the third time.
For the 14% of people that are still holding on to that guy.
Yeah, you hate that dude, man. There's no question.
I love Hayden Birdsong. I
apparently not. You've had him. You've already had him in this segment twice, and you try to add him a third time. You don't like Hayden Birdsong.
I like him more than Freddie Freeman. Matt Shaw. He still started in 13% of leagues, owned in 47. Here's the problem. Other than his 119 average and no homers, 6 runs, 6 RBIs in his last 28 days. He got benched over the weekend, 3 games in a row in the Bronx. And I don't know that he's rosterable for this reason. If the Cubs, who lead the National League in wins with 57, the biggest problem Matt Shaw has getting playing time is the Milwaukee Brewers will just not go away.
No.
You talk about great organizational showings this year. Give the Brewers their flowers. The Cubs can't afford to play Shaw.
No.
They can't afford to let him work it out. No. They got to go somewhere else and get the production there. And they benched him in that series. I think that's going to continue. He's not worth having because he's just not going to play consistently enough. And when you're slumping and you're not hitting, you need reps, you need at bats. He's not going to get them. You're not going to get them. Because again, they cannot shake the Brewers. The Brewers, to me, are the great story of the first half. We haven't even talked about them that much with Mizorowski, who looked great last night. But their season, slider. 98-mile-an-hour slider. The Brewer season is going to
slider in the All-Star game. Jesus God.
The Brewer season is impacting Matt Shaw's ability to play baseball.
Yeah, and getting Woodruff back helps them a lot. I feel like we could have had this conversation about the Brewers for the last maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
Like they are not going away.
No.
The Cardinals will fade. They may dump. The Reds could make a surge. They might. I mean, who knows? They're so inconsistent. You never know. But the Brewers, the Brewers are the Brewers. At this point, the Brewers are what they are. Like they never go away. They scratch, fight, scrap, and claw. And to your point on Shaw, who in this picture is being told the next pitch is a slider and laughing, saying, it doesn't matter. I can't hit it anyway. They can't, like, they have to play Justin Turner until Justin Turner's body breaks down and he needs a day off. The glove tool with Shaw is still great, but when you're not hitting, like, they can't afford it. You're right.
No.
And the Tyone going on the IL didn't help them.
No, and the Brewers, by the way, I wish they would go back to those Friday night unis they wear from the old Harvey's Wallbanger days from the early
Yes.
'80s. They should
Yeah.
make those their home uniforms. The other ones they have are like circa 1973, and they're boring and dull.
Yeah. Well, that's them. They're boring and dull, but all they do is win baseball games
Win
and
games.
hang around like a gnat.
56 and 40.
And then for me, this knucklehead, another Dodger can't miss prospect. And despite the fact that he's 3 position eligible, he's first base, third base, and outfield eligible. At this point, how about like he's 127 in his last 21 days. He does have 10 homers, 35 RBIs, 44 runs. He's still 49% owned. Like, I don't even want to own him right now because he's never in a point where he's hot enough for a long enough stretch of time where you're like, I got to have Miguel Vargas on my team. And I've had him in another league. And I'm like, what am I like? There's got to be another corner infielder someplace that's going to give me more production than him. And then we go to, because I don't know how we did this because I did it in the wrong order. On the flip side, is who do you go get? And first of all, don't give me names that take me that much effort to type. I'm like this, Well,
I can't give you Caglione because the week you were gone, I had to actually edit the PowerPoint because it was completely illegible, and I'm not sure what you did tonight, but it was wrong. Sorry, but you got this one right. I picked up Richardson in our head-to-head league ace. 0.92 ERA, 0.97 whip. He's only owned in 30% of leagues, started in just 20. Why not? Look, the Twins, can they get it back together? Yeah, they won 6 out of their last 10. They're still just a tick under 500, but he's been pitching great. Why not? Go get him.
Woods Richardson is the Jesus Sanchez of pitchers to me, where he does these little runs and then the implosion happens. And you're like, why? Why did I pick this guy up? And will he get bumped when Lopez comes back relatively soon? I don't know why I'm on the White Sox tonight. I have no idea, but Adrian Hauser, like on the season, he's 5-2 with a 1.13 whip and a 1.56 ERA. And he doesn't strike anybody out. So he's not going to help you for strikeouts and he's not going to help you for whip, but he's going to go 6 or 7 innings because he doesn't throw a lot of pitches. And he's still only 50% owned and only 24% started. So I get the start thing. Like, do I really want to start a guy that's only going to, like, if I'm okay in ERA and whip and I need strikeouts, I'm not going to start him this week. But former Yankee Adrian Hauser.
By the way, former Tri-City Valley Cat Adrian Hauser.
Is he really?
And I mentioned the Valley Cats, friend of the program, GM Matt Callahan was on. They are hosting the Frontier League All-Star game as we speak, although it might be over by now.
Really?
They were hosting the game tonight up in Troy.
I'm a little upset, speaking of things that are going on right now that I'm not paying attention to, that I'm missing the ESPYs for the 12th year in a row.
I wouldn't watch that show. I wouldn't say exactly. It would be a little too graphic. I'll move on. I wouldn't watch that show if you paid me.
I would have only...
Is Pat McAfee hosting it?
No.
Why not?
Because Stephen A. Smith isn't available either. So
okay.
Oh crap!
That show jumped the shark with Valvano.
Shane Gillis is hosting it, and I would have watched it.
I don't know who that is.
Only for the monologue.
Who's Shane Gillis?
Shane Gillis is a funny guy, man. He's a very funny guy. He's really, really funny.
Is he?
And I'm sure he said something that he should have never ever said, and I'm sure he did because that's what he does.
Is he in the Ricky Gervais category when he's hosting?
No, he is like he's like Mr. Politically Incorrect. So Bob, Battlefield Bob, I'm gonna respond to your prediction that the Mets are going to make a trade with an AL Central team. I think if the Mets are going to make a trade, it's going to be to get either Merrill Kelly or Zach Gallen because they need pitching in the worst way. And I think the Mets will make the wild card, but I don't think they have enough pitching. I don't think they're gonna. Like, who are they gonna get from the AL Central? Like who is that guy? They're gonna get Adrian Hauser. They're gonna get maybe bring Seth Lugo back, but like, what are they gonna give up to do it? Like Mauricio seems to be the guy they're gonna have to trade to make a trade. And is that a fit for the Royals? No, not really. Not with India and Witt up the middle. I mean, maybe Acuna. Like, do they have any bats in their outfield bats in their farm system that would help the Royals? Do they have a first baseman with pop that would let them have a three-way? Let the Royals have a three-way platoon at first base and DH with Pasquantino, Sally Perez, and this new kid that they get. I don't know if they match up with the Royals that way. The Indians want to sell, but they don't have any bats. What Gavin Williams? Where does Clase? You trade for Clase and you're the Mets, and then you got to tell Edwin Diaz you're not the closer anymore. Just fucking DFA him. Because if his head's not in the game, he's useless as shit. So that's
probably get Ortiz on the cheap.
Yeah, you can. You probably could. I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, you probably get him for nothing right now. I mean, Lewis Robert, what's he do for them? Scoring runs is not the Mets' problem. Giving them up is. They need bullpen help and they need starting pitching.
Hey, here's the question of the day. It just popped into my head. I need some advice here.
Here we go.
Universe, help me out. So I'm going to Colorado this weekend for, unfortunately, a memorial service. What are the chances of talking Mrs. Pugsley into going to see the Twins and the Rockies? Good seats, I'm sure, are available.
Why?
From $18 on this website, SeatGeek.
Why does Mrs. Pugsley have to go?
Oh, she wouldn't. Well,
why?
Long way to go to.
Why can't it be? Why can't it be a mental health day for you to deal with the events that are occurring while you're out there, and a tribute to your sister who liked to go to Rockies games? Why can't it be just? Why can't it just be like, I need this for me? Like, it's. I'm not saying I'm manipulating the situation, but I'm kind of manipulating the situation.
You write this down. She might be watching upstairs, so write this down for me. I need some material.
You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, and you can get that information yourself.
It is a beautiful park. I've been there. I saw Mike Hampton hit 2 home runs there in one game that one time, and it would be the boys' first Major League Baseball game without me having to drive to the Bronx, which I have no interest in doing.
Why not? The Sacramento A's are probably coming in.
Yeah, just popped into my head. It is the Twins. Like, go see Joe Ryan pitch. Go see Bucks.
You go see Troy Larrick, and you could go see
Simeon Woods Richardson.
Yeah,
who's hot?
Probably, and you could go see the guy that I said we should cut. That now he's got to play Brooks Lee since Carlos Correa screwed his ankle up again. And a disgusting.
Too bad the A's aren't the team there. Thanks, buddy.
I thought you boycott I thought you were never again with the A's. I thought you were.
Oh hell no! Oh my God!
Red Sox.
You go to a game in Colorado. Spend $8.
Like a 9-year-old.
You go to a game in Colorado. You spend $8. You're behind the home plate, and I can wear my cell shirt.
Yeah, probably.
Right. And speaking of John Fisher.
Since you mentioned them, I mean, the Rockies are a really bad baseball team, right?
Yep.
They're really bad. That's easy to that's not a thing. They are seventh. Now, hold on. They are 14th in attendance in average attendance in Major League Baseball.
That's pretty good.
And they are 17th in total attendance on a team that's historically bad.
Yep.
Historically bad. I will give the Athletics in Tampa a little bit of a break.
Don't give the
total attendance based on the stadiums that they're playing in.
Don't give the A's a break. That fucking ownership.
The Marlins
they can't draw 10,000 people in that.
Like the Marlins, the White Sox, and the Pirates are all under 1 million at 47 or 48 games. And the Dodgers at 50 games are 2.5. The Padres are 2 at 49, and the Yankees are 2 million at 48. And the one that stands out the most of all of them is the Cardinals are at 1.45 million through 48 home games, and they're not going to get to 3 million. It's not even going to be close. Like, those fans are definitely sending a message.
But they're winning games.
But they're winning games, and they're not trying to win games. They're winning games by the fact that the players are playing hard. They're not winning games because they want to win games, and they're likely going to sell. They're likely going to move Helsley. They're likely going to move Steven Matz. They likely will move Eric Fede. They'll likely move Nolan Gorman. They'll likely move a lot of guys at the deadline for basic shit. Because I don't know what, with a general manager who's a lame duck general manager on top of that, it was already announced he's retiring. And the fans are smart. The fans see what's going on. They're not going to support it. Like, they're used to that team going all in all the time, and They're not. And they see it, and they're saying what needs to be said.
All right. Well,
I mean, the fact that the Mariners are 19th in attendance tells you what the fan base thinks about their chances.
Yeah. I got to throw the stat out there. How bad are the Rockies been? Their run diff is minus 253.
Yeah, it's really bad.
That is terrible.
It's really bad.
Absolutely terrible.
It's really bad. I mean, the Dodgers have seemingly either Mel Rojas or Kiki Hernandez warming up in the sixth inning of every game that's out of hand. And the team that should have used position players as pitchers the most of anybody, I don't know if they've even used one this year. And they've gotten thrashed multiple times. And it's not just – and if you broke down their run differential home versus road, it's not a big difference. Like, they get the shit kicked out of them. They're equal opportunity. They give the home fans – they give the away fans something to cheer about when they're in town.
Yeah.
They got a lot of young, exciting players, but good God. But people still go to that ballpark.
Sure. All right, next week we're going to try and get back to our Tuesday gig.
We will get back to Tuesday next week. We will thank you to the 37 folks that tuned in. Thank you for our contributors on the chat on a Wednesday night.
Oh, the big man.
Watch the end of the ESPYs. You can see who wins the Arthur Ashe Award, which is probably the only thing I tune in for. And the second half kicks off Friday.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Only one more day. One more day. Thanks, Battlefield Bob, big man, and BU, otherwise known as Todd. Thanks for popping on and sharing some of your wisdom with us. And no, Chase Burns not going to get hurt. Don't jinx me.
Don't jinx him.
Don't jinx me. I've been cursed since draft day anyway. The only thing I have to show up in the draft is 11th place team and a lot of beer.
Some people say cursed, and some people say rightfully placed.
True. Pretty
Take a
thing
close.
sucks.
I bet you won't take a closer in the first round next year.
No, I won't. That will not happen again. What a disaster. All right. We're out. We'll see you next week.
Peace.